Hello and welcome to Hockenheim for round 3 of the Ultimate Cup Championship. And it's the time for the second Formula Cup race of the weekend. And we have a championship battle that is heating up in the Formula Cup. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. And if this is your first time, here's your introduction to Ultimate Cup. Welcome. It's great to have you. We have a few different classes to concentrate on here in the Formula Cup, but we have the Formula Regional cars with the 13-inch tyres and the 17-inch tyres as well. We also have Formula Renault 2.0, which additionally we have a general ranking for gentlemen drivers too. Today, though, we've only really got the 13-inch tyres and the Formula Renault 2.0 competing. And yesterday, we had Juan Francisco Soldevini run away with a win by a mighty 6 seconds, grabbing his second win of the season and his second in a row, and once again starts on pole position for this afternoon's race. So you see here Soldevini on pole, Enzo Richer is alongside him, and then it's Alban Robert Prince in third, and Arthur Agata is in fourth, Boucher and Billion, and then it's Rijkaard, Dipierre, Malholm, Derek, and that is our 10 drivers on the grid. Now, an important point to make this weekend is that Marius Mezard, the championship leader in the 13-inch category, is not here this weekend, which means that Frédéric Billion has already closed his 140-point lead to 96 points. That's Billiot's got 96 points now. And Enzo Richer, with his second place finish yesterday, picked up more points to head into this race on 96 points. So Soldevini, after not competing in round 1, has also moved up to 4th place himself. Everyone is taking cover at the moment because I don't know if you can see, but it's a bit wet out there. We've had a lot of rain, and one person that will be down on the grid at the moment is Chris Stevens, who will be speaking to Enzo Richer, who's starting second on the grid.
Yeah, we're down here with Enzo Richer. Quite a bit of noise on the grid, as you can hear. But Enzo, you were upset yesterday. Have you been able to make any changes to address that straight line speed?
Yeah, a bit. But there with some rain, it will be a bit better to go search the first place because there's not a lot straight line here with the rain. So I think we have more chances right now.
You reckon you can take the fight to Juan Francisco?
I will try my chance, but I'm gonna be a bit carefully because I'm challenging the championship, so I don't want to be outside the points. And yeah, if I finish second, I finish second.
Well, good luck. We hope it goes well. Go well out there. Let's see, how much time have we got? I reckon we could grab a very quick chat with our pole sitter. Let's go and have a quick chat with Juan Francisco, shall we? He is having a word with his engineers. I don't want to interrupt. Are we okay? Hi, Juan Francisco. Can you do the same again today?
Yeah, I think so. I hope so. It's a very different track, but I'm sure we can do a good job.
How do the conditions change things?
Well, I've barely had any practice on these conditions and in this track, just like everyone else. So, yeah, it'll be a matter of learning the track quickly and then just trying to make any mistakes. That's going to be it.
Right, good luck for that. Right, Claire, let's go back to you.
Thank you so much, Chris. Lovely to hear from both the drivers there, pole position man Juan Francisco Soldevini and, of course, Enzo Richer. And Enzo mentioned there that the championship is up for battle at the moment because basically, like I was mentioning there just before we pop down to the grid to speak to Chris and the drivers, that the points are starting to close up now. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Because of the rain, it looks like that we may be having a rolling start out there. These tyres, as you can see, they've got the slicks on. They're ready for a bit of a wet track. And the 3-minute board is now being shown. So we will get the formation lap underway very shortly. But as I was saying, the track's very slippery. We have had some practice sessions out there that would have cleared the way a little bit. And there isn't any standing water from outside the commentary box, which was there earlier. There were some big puddles that were forming around the whole track. So hopefully it shouldn't be too wet out there. But we will see once the cars head out. So the start will be behind the safety car. Because of the conditions out there, as I mentioned, it rained a lot. So it's been raining ever since we had our lunch break. So it's been raining since the Ultimate GT Sprint Cup, which was at 12 or so. And local time here, it is nearly 10 to 3. So we will start this race behind the safety car. And we will see just how slippery it is for these single-seater cars. Like I said, we did have some practice sessions that has cleared the way a little bit out there. But as you can see there is still standing water on the track. So it'll have to be Juan Francisco Soldavini who's going to lead these cars round behind the safety car. So final preparations now happening on the grid. And that is our newbie that's joined us for this weekend, who is starting third. That is Auburn Robert Prince, who had a very impressive debut in the Ultimate Cup yesterday, finished third on the track and also won the gentlemen's competition as well. He had problems in qualifying where he crashed out, but he was able to pick up some points. Very impressive debut. Another person that's just joining us for this weekend as well, who did take part in Paul Ricard, is the car number 24, who is Artur Agata. He is also joining us and again had a very impressive race yesterday as well, battling it out. So we will shortly get this race underway behind the safety car. The 15-second board now being shown as well. So we're going to see just how wet it is out there and what the conditions are like to see if they can go safely racing. But it's always better to get the race underway behind the safety car with single-seaters. They're not quite as robust as the GT cars and such. It looks like we've got a bit of a staller there. I think that was Artur Agata. I'd have to have a look. So the clock starts running down and we are underway behind the safety car, as I said. It's a 20-minute race, which is now started, albeit behind the safety car due to safety conditions. It doesn't look like Artur Agata got going again, but we'll just have to see. Oh, he does there, actually. I think he's just slotted in behind Walter Reichart in the car number 24 there, which is Agata. So it's 17 corners around this Hockenheim track, with, of course, some very famous memories around this beautiful circuit, which has been significantly made smaller from how big it was before. And we lost that forest area that was used down the back for the old track. It used to be a very long track indeed, and it's now been significantly made smaller to accommodate the cars, basically. We had Formula One here not that long ago, in 2019, and it was just a bit of a long track. So, just at the back there, car 49, which is Philippe Derrick. Enzo just getting a bit of heat in his tyres there. It doesn't look as bad as I thought it was going to out on that track. It's not as wet as it looked. However, you can see the runoff area there. Very slippery. Everyone just tiptoeing around, feeling where the dry parts of the track may be. And you can still see the spray there. So there is still quite a lot of wetness on the track, which will be causing these guys a little bit of havoc out there, despite being on wet tyres. Safety car conditions getting us underway then. Safety car will be in this lap, so we should go racing shortly. As it'll be Juan Francisco Soldavini who will back up this pack before the safety car peels into the pit lane and we can go racing. So they have deemed it not too wet. Safety car lights are out, as you can see there, as they're making their way round. And the safety car driver has come into the pit lane. And coming round the final corner is Juan Francisco Soldevini, who will get this race going. And he will pull away and lead the team with him. So we are under green conditions now. Safety car is in and we are back racing. And it is Juan Francisco Soldevini who leads the way, but Enzo Richer closing in on him there, heading into turn 1, a tricky corner. So this is the first time we're going racing properly, and they can really see the spray in front of them. But Enzo Richer is not letting Juan Francisco Soldevini get away with this one as quickly as he did before, tiptoeing round turn 2, and Enzo Richer is there. It does look like the car number 83 of Auburn, Robert Prince, is going maybe a little slower there, just to really feel round to turn 2, but the battle is on at the front. Frédéric Billiot has slotted into 5th position with Boucher in 4th. But let's see how hard these two will fight to take this win. Enzo Richer was not happy yesterday after he had a few setup issues that he wanted to fix today. So has he got them fixed, and can he really bring the fight to this man at the front who won by 6 seconds yesterday? He doesn't look like he's letting him go, so it could be a real battle here to the end. 15 minutes left on the clock, and Enzo Richer is looking around the outside, seeing if there's a little dry place around there, but he's not going to be able to do it into that. He had a bit of a wobble there, so it's obviously a little bit wet there on, I think that's heading into turn 9 and 10, so it is still looking a bit wet out there, and they've got to be a bit careful because, as you can see there, Juan Francisco Soldevini is really fighting with the car to try and make sure it sticks on track. So we're obviously seeing some of the wetter parts of the track here as we're heading up to the Sachs curve at turn 13, which is just outside my commentary box as they thunder down towards 14 and 15. Back onto the start-finish straight. As you can see there, he's just struggling a little bit with some of that wetness out there. He doesn't want to catch it as, oh, that was a really close there. That was great work from Soldevini, just keeping it off the grass. That grass is going to be super, super slippy at this point, and he nearly caught the rear end and kind of turned himself around, but thankfully managed to keep it on the track. But that did mean that Enzo Richer is able to just close in a little bit more now. You can see they're taking slightly different lines heading into turn 2, as we've got a move here from Boucher, sorry, trying to get round, Billiot trying to get round Boucher, I think. In that very white livery. He's holding everyone up a little bit there, is Alain Boucher. Oh, and he's going a little bit wide. I think it's actually Frédéric Billiot who's leading. He's let 2 cars through there of Walter Rijkaard, and we've got a spin there at 24. That's Arthur Agater, who's now stuck in the grass. Like I said, that grass is very, very wet, so he'll be lucky if he can get out of it. And it looks like probably the car's actually stalled. So we've got yellows out at turn 4 there for Arthur Agater, who is spun on his own, it looked like, but we'll just have to see if we get a replay of that one after what was going on between these guys, Walter Rijkaard and also Alain Boucher. So here's the replay. 3 trying to go into 4, trying to go into one corner, and I think maybe Arthur got maybe just turned a little bit by Frédéric Billiot there. I'd have to see it from a different angle to see exactly if his front wing turned him, but whatever caught this driver off guard meant that he's now sitting in the grass, which is unfortunate for him. So this battle continues here between Frédéric Billiot and Alain Boucher. Car number 68 with very little on the car, so it's always harder to see compared to the others that have maybe a little bit more sponsor on them. Car number 4 then battling hard for 4th place, and it's important for Billiot to get as many points as he can in this one, because as I mentioned at the beginning of the race, it's the 13-inch leader, who is Maris Mezard, is not here this weekend, so Frédéric Billiot will be wanting to get as many points as he can, basically, to try and gain the championship lead. And the other one that wants to do that as well is 3rd place in the championship, which is Enzo Richer. So looks like Arthur Agater is trying to get going again, obviously significantly further down the field now. but he has got going again, so that's good to see. Probably, I would assume, either try and finish the race or limp back to the pit lane, depending if there's any damage. Doesn't look like there's any front wing damage on that on the front right, which is where the tap would have been. But a shame for Artur Agata, who did a very impressive race yesterday, considering he hadn't raced in the championship since the first round. He's racing in the 2.0. Yeah, he got in Paul Ricard, he got 3 4th places just off the podium, and then he won in his class yesterday in the Formula Renault category. So disappointment for him today. However, if he continues, he should be able to pick up maybe another podium with the 3 Formula Renault cars out there, which Alain Boucher is leading at the moment. So here's Enzo Richet still hunting down Juan Francisco Soldevini for that win, and if he can, he will get some very important points on the board in the 13-inch classes. Still can see it's quite slippery out there, which I think is quite interesting in terms of thinking that the track's going to dry. Is he going to make it here into turn 2? He's looking around the outside to see if he can kind of get him here on the left-hander. I think that Soldevini will have the front here. Oh, has he made a mistake though? Does Soldevini just go in a little bit deep into that? Oh, they're now side by side heading up towards, oh, it's Soldevini just able to edge forward, heading down towards turn 5. And it's the long stretch down the back. Can he make it stick? Enzo's coming back at him. Can he go around the outside? He's trying, he's thinking about it. Unfortunately, he's just going to have to slot back into second place behind him to turn 6. He gets a little bit out of shape there. The hairpin at turn 6 is going to be very slippery at the moment as they're heading down towards turn 7. That right-hander, which is flat out kink towards turn 7. And you're going to go flat out here towards turn 10, 8, 9, into 11 as well. So Soldevini survives that one for now, but Enzo was ever so close heading down into turn 3 and 4 and down the back straight of turn 5, but wasn't able to do it there, unfortunately. So they go again, 9 minutes to go. I'm sure he's still got plenty raring to go here. Soldevini still really fighting with that car to keep it on track. Must be quite slippery out there at the moment. As they head round the Sachs curve again and thunder past my commentary position. And to the final few corners on the track. This battle really heating up now for the win. Only, we'll see in a moment how far behind it, but he was 9/10 behind, so a second behind. And the start-finish straight, Enzo once again reeling him in, checking around the outside. Can he make it happen there? Soldevini really defends into turn 1. Not going to happen there. So this battle continues down towards the kink of turn 2. Not quite close enough there either is Enzo Richet to take away Soldevini's impressive weekend so far. As we head down once again down the back, and you can see here this time Enzo Richet not as close as he was before. And that flat out part into turn 5 up towards the hairpin at 6. But he has dropped back a little bit now, a couple of tenths. The timing screen telling us that. Getting out of shape once again, Enzo, from that hairpin into turn 6 into the kink at turn 7. Tricky round there as Juan Francisco Soldevini just nearly lost the rear end a little bit there. You can still see the track is still quite wet, but Enzo Richet definitely dropped back a little bit then. So let's tell you where we're at. It is Soldevini, our winner from yesterday, who's still leading the way from Enzo Richet, who is looking to get as many points as he can to try and take the lead of the championship over the next couple of races. It's still going pretty fast out there, as you can see. Top speeds in your right corner for the top 2. Our debutant this weekend, who is Robert Prince, is still sitting 3rd. Be his 2nd podium of the weekend. And then Walter Rijkaard is 4th, and Frédéric Billion, who's leading the 13-inch classes, who's second rather in the 13-inch classes at the moment. Enzo Richer has definitely closed that gap a little bit more now, hasn't he? Looking to try and overtake. You have to say Soldovini is doing some brilliant defending here in tricky conditions. He did win in Estoril in the fog and the rain and wind and all sorts, so he is used to tough conditions out there. But Enzo Richer not able just to be able to get close enough anymore now. It was definitely a couple of laps ago into turn 3 and 4 where it was Enzo Richer's best opportunity, and he is lapping quite fast out there at the moment. Soldovini, though, being pushed and setting the fastest first sector with Enzo Richer behind. Obviously, he's got clear air as well. I say he's got clear air, but it looks like he's got, I think it's Philippe Darrieux in front of them. But they obviously will move over. So there he is again. Oh, Enzo just getting caught in that little bit of traffic, but looks like Philippe Darrieux moved over significantly for them to continue their battle. 6 minutes left on the clock then. And let's see where we go from here. Will Soldovini be able to hold on to his second win of the weekend, or is it Enzo Richer going to be able to get past him? He has closed in a little bit more again by a couple of tenths. And this is the battle here between Walter Rijkaard and Frédéric Billion, and that is for 4th and 5th. And they are in the same class this time, whereas a couple of them have moved into different classes for this weekend, like Philippe Darrieux, who was in the 17-inch in the first round. And looks like Frédéric Billion is trying a similar place to where Enzo Richer tried it, but unfortunately just ran out of track and has have to yield just behind Walter Rijkaard. Has a look on the inside. Can he get it heading into the right-hander of turn 7? Looks like he hasn't managed to do it there, unfortunately. He did get close, and this battle, not even for the overall podium position, is pretty heated. Walter Rijkaard really making his car as wide as possible, and Frédéric Billion thinking, I would like to be able to get past you, actually, because I need the points for the championship, with Marius Mezard not here. Unfortunately, it's very difficult to overtake in the sort of conditions we're seeing with these cars. And not only that, they're on wet tyres, so as the track starts to dry, these wet tyres don't kind of work as well anymore. So car 66 has been reported to the steward. Needs to report to the stewards rather after the race. That's Enzo Richer. So interesting to see. Car 66 under investigation, improved sectors under yellow flags. So it looks like he could have been speeding under yellows. So we'll have to have a look at that afterwards, but he will have to speak to the stewards after the race. Oh, and that's someone off there. Artur Agator once again. He did get back on track, but he's had another issue. That looks like it's down at turn 2. And this time, I think it might be game over for Artur Agator, unfortunately. He's turned the wrong way and looking completely, it looks like, unfortunately, that might be it for Agator this time round. So the yellows will be shown in sector 1. So all the cars will have to slow down for that sector. But that is a shame for the young gun. He's only 17 years old, is Artur Agator, and he's, like I said, had a good race yesterday, winning in class. But today, unfortunately, it looks like he's going to have to retire that car. We've got another chance this afternoon to see how he can do, but unfortunately at turn 2, and he's kicked up a bit of dirt onto the track as well. So the drivers are going to have to be a bit careful there as the battle does continue at the front for Soldovini and Enzo Richer. But they've all got to slow down because of Artur Agator, who is currently in the grass. Bit of more traffic here for our leaders as Gilles de Pierre manages to move over, but unfortunately goes a bit into the runoff. Lucky not to get on the grass there, but not sure he has to move over quite that much, but he played the game, so that's good of him. So where are we at then? Soldovini still being hunted by Enzo Richer. 8/10 now, he's managed to get that lead down to. Bit of traffic once again. That one from Alain Boucher, who also gets out the way in a timely manner. So we will be starting to, we've got a red flag. So the race has been suspended. We will find out if that is the end of the race. Enzo Richer was just coming around the pit lane anyway, towards the pit lane, so managed to dive in immediately because the race has been suspended. So they have decided that maybe it was too hard to get Artur Agator out of the grass there, and the red flag has been shown. So we will not have a standing ovation for the end of the race there, unfortunately, with Juan Francisco Soldovini and Enzo Richer fighting it out for the win, because we do have a red flag. So all the cars will come into the pit lane and they will remove Artur Agator's Strachan car that's just at turn 2, because you need to remove it. So the way it is at the moment is Soldovini would be the winner from Enzo Richer, and Aubin Robert Prince would be taking the 3rd place at the moment. And in the gentlemen's, it would be Aubin Robert Prince who would be the class winner in that one as well. And in the Formula Renault, it would be Alain Boucher who would take that win. So race has been suspended. The medical team are just chatting to Artur Agator. He's just having a quick there's a thumbs up, so that's always good to see. So Lamo Racing will be wanting to have a chat with their driver, I'm sure, afterwards and make sure he's okay. It must have been quite a big impact. He's not out of the car, but he did give a thumbs up. So we'll get the cleaner out on track and move some of the debris. So the race will not be resumed. So the race has been suspended. It's under red flag, and it will now not be resumed. So it is Juan Francisco Soldovini who takes his 2nd win of the weekend. And it will be Enzo Richer who picks up some very important points in the Formula Renault 13 inches. And in 3rd place, it will be Aubin Robert Prince, who also wins in the gentleman drivers as well. In winner of the Formula Renault will be Alain Boucher. But we do have car number 6 as well is also under investigation. So that is Juan Francisco Soldovini. And car 66 as well, which is Enzo Richer, is under investigation for speeding under yellow. So there could be some changes to the end result under investigation, but we will find out and we will let you know for the next race, which is happening this afternoon, which will be getting underway tonight at around 8:40 local time. That's the lovely Alex there, giving us a best umbrella look. And we should be able to head down to the pit lane soon and speak to Chris Stevens. I'm sure there'll be some conversations that'll be happening now between some of the teams as well, just to understand exactly what happened. So it looks like Artur Agator is out of the car and he's fine. He's unfortunately a bit annoyed about what he's done, I think, and taking a look at the rear end of the car. So race has been red flagged and will not resume. And it will be Juan Francisco Soldovini who is our winner today for a 2nd time this weekend. Plenty of racing still to come, of course, so do make sure you stick with us. After that, after this, we have, of course, the Ultimate GT Sprint Cup. which will be race 3 of that one. And we'll also have the European Endurance Prototype Cup practice sessions as well. And then we'll have practice qualifying for the Ultimate GT Endurance Cup also. And then the final race of the weekend for the Ultimate Formula Cup will be at 20 to 7. And we'll end the day with a bit more racing, of course. Why would we not? The Ultimate GT Sprint Cup will be here at around 20 past 7. So still plenty to do. And do make sure you join us tomorrow as well, because at 9 a.m. we will have the European Endurance Prototype Cup. The starting grid for that will be around 5 past 9. And the race will get underway at around 20 past 9. So we'll be on air, ready to talk you through everything there. And then in the afternoon, of course, we've got at 2:10 the Ultimate GT Endurance Cup getting underway. And that race gets underway at 25 minutes past 2. So we probably are going to not head down to the pit lane, and we will stay with these images for now of the car number 24 just being removed from turn 2. And there will be plenty more action still to come today, so do make sure you stick with us and we can talk you through all of it once car number 24 is removed from turn 2. So that is it from us today here at Hockenheim for the Formula Cup. We were back this afternoon. That is your confirmation that it's Juan Francisco Soldovini who takes the win, Enzo Richer in second, and Robert Prince in third. Unfortunately there, Artur Agator is 1 lap down after having an accident just at the end of that race at turn 2. And unfortunately still in the grass. So make sure you stick with us. We've got plenty more action to come this afternoon. But for now, we'll leave you to it.